嗨，大家好，我是田薇。本周呢，我们有幸邀请到了马哈默德先生，对他进行一个采访。马哈默德先生曾在加拿大商务部和中东担任多个高级管理职务，那他现在也是 CBX 的首席运营官。那我们现在呢，就来连线马哈默德先生，来聊一聊本次新冠疫情对于迪拜乃至整个阿联酋有什么影响，以及阿联酋的政府采取了什么样的措施去控制新冠疫情对经济产生的影响。最后呢，再让他展望一下区块链行业乃至整个阿联酋经济未来的发展。Hello, Mohammed. How are you doing? It's a great honor that I can interview you today. Just to help everyone to be on the same page, can you introduce a bit about the current situation of how is the coronavirus in UAE right now and what actions the UAE government has taken to contain the spread of this pandemic?
We are very fortunate to have a visionary government. Our government actually is very proactive, and for them they see the issue, they see the problem, they foresee it, and they act on it before the problem actually turns into a crisis. So the way they do that, they have done it through planned phases. Initially, they shut down the schools. They followed by entertainment venues, theme parks, malls, cinemas, offices. They were shut down. Followed by that, what they actually did was a curfew. So they had a lockdown, a 24 hours lockdown curfew, and this was basically done for sterilization. So they went street by street, alley by alley, everywhere, and decided to sterilize the place, which is unprecedented the way they have done it. And they have actually successfully, within a very short period of time, sterilized the entire city of Dubai. They've done that. Alongside it, they did about 1 million tests for individuals. They also came up with first of its kind drive-through testing centers, which you can take an appointment, drive through it, in 5 minutes you can test it, and within the next day or two you get the results. So that's first of its kind, really well done. The government, all the government services went online, including online doctors.
Let's talk a little bit about the impact of the coronavirus on UAE economy and the measures taken by the government to minimize the crisis in UAE.
Yes, for sure. It has actually affected the economy. However, the government has taken some steps and measures for it, such as the UAE Central Bank had put in 100 billion dirhams into stimulus injection for the economy, half of which was specifically geared towards the small businesses and SMEs, because an SME is a backbone of any economy, and the government realizes that and always supports it. So that's been one of the things that they have done. Another thing, what they have actually also done is malls, because the malls have been shut and the businesses in the mall have been affected. So they're giving them 6 months rent free. So for 6 months they do not pay any rent. Initially it was for 3 months, but they increased it to 6 months to support these businesses further. Another thing which many governments haven't done that is actually having support for online education. So about 4 million dirhams have actually been put in towards the online education system and support the schools on that as well, which the government understands and realizes that that's a vital segment.
Please also share the insight from the cryptocurrency sentiments during the coronavirus turmoil.
That's a very interesting question. There have been a lot of issues with healthcare providers actually finding the right suppliers, because especially at this time, the demand for masks, ventilators, oxygen tanks is really, really high. And many governments, many countries are actually struggling to get the right suppliers and to get the right product. And even if they do find the right product, the issue is on the quality. Is the quality actually really stated as what it should be? So there's a company that has come in and stepped in. It's going to be on the blockchain. And it's a blockchain technology which actually connects healthcare providers to their suppliers. And the way it does, it actually vets the suppliers. It goes through a trusted global network supplies system, and this is where the suppliers get vetted, it gets checked for the quality and history as well. Also, one of the things what the blockchain does is also has patients on the blockchain system. So in this way, the governments or the healthcare providers will actually know what's the immunity level of these patients and what sort of healthcare do they actually require. So this is something which governments are starting to realize worldwide, that the blockchain is a very useful technology which they can actually use, have this in place. A lot of difficulties that is being felt, especially in the West, that would have been avoided. Right now, what we have experienced on CBX, and seen from the exchange side, that our users have actually grown. If you see, whether the stock market's bonds, commodities, oil, gold, real estate, everything is actually crashing. And people are losing faith. Even gold, that I just mentioned, gold has always been traditionally a safe haven. And people have always looked to invest in gold in time of crisis. But even that has lost its shine or luster to it. Bitcoin is known as the new digital gold. People are looking into buying Bitcoin way more than they had actually done before. I had actually personally a lot of family and friends who were calling me and asking me, hey, how do I buy? And I was surprised because some of them had never bought anything, not even stocks. They've never invested into stocks, bonds, or any investment tools. But they want to buy Bitcoins because the faith in the Bitcoin is there. They see the price of the Bitcoin, even though with the crisis, the Bitcoin has held this price, has held this value to it. So it's a great investment tool. We've seen about 40% of our new user registration have never traded on crypto ever. So for them, it's a new experience, and we're very glad to have and engage this community and build the CDX community. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you.